Konnichiwa minasan. Murray sensei desu. Let's go over the number 13, lesson 11 grammar assignment. All right, I will share my screen with you. And here we are. Okay, let's start from the top. So part 1 says to pretend you work at a department store and someone is asking you if you have something in stock. Fill in the blanks with the appropriate Japanese words according to the information provided. When conjugating the verb, be sure to consider if the answer is yes or no. That's going to affect your verb ending, so just side note. Then fill in the blanks to the right of the image with the English translation. And we'll start by practicing with the re, our example. So, zoom in, okay. Re, it says, ukulele ga arimasu ka? Or sorry, I read that wrong. Got confused because there was romaji in there. So the reason, as you guys know, this is your first worksheet in full hiragana, and you'll be expected to handwrite your answers in full hiragana. So I have some words in here that are written in romaji, Japanese, written in English characters. Ukulele is one of them. Shampoo is another. And these are foreign words that are adapted into the Japanese language. So think about, what does ukulele sound like? What does shampoo sound like? These are English words that are written in katakana, the foreign language or the foreign language alphabet, and you will learn that in a 1B. So that's why I don't have these words written in katakana, because we haven't gone over it really at all. Anyway, ukulele is ukulele, and then shampoo is shampoo. And these are all in the Bene na Tango section too, in case you need to reference them again. Okay, back to our re. So it says, ukulele ga arimasu ka? Let's break it down. Okay, we know that ukulele is ukulele. The Hawaiian instrument, originally from, where is it from? Portugal, I think. I think it's originally from Portugal. Anyway, ukulele. And arimasu means to exist, but this is specifically for inanimate objects. So things like, I don't know, a rock or a chair or a fan or anything that's not necessarily living. If we're talking about something that's living, we want to use the verb imasu. This is for humans, animals, things like that. That's for animate things, living things. Then let's check out our particles. We have particle ga and particle ka. Particle ga is our subject particle. So that just tells us that ukulele is what we're focusing on. We're focusing on, does this specifically exist? And then ka is our question particle. So you always use it when you're asking a question. When you're making a statement, you do not use ka, you drop that. So when we think of our response, for a simple response like this, we basically are just going to put our answer, yes or no, hai or iie in the front. And then we're going to just copy the question and remove the ka. So I have a format for you here to follow. So we're gonna put hai or iie. So our answer here is hai. So hai, yes. Ukulele ga arimasu. So since this is a positive statement, or we're going to answer with arimasu. Arimasu, all present positive verbs end in mas. So if you're trying to say like will or to do, you'd say shimasu. If you want to say to swim or will swim, oyogimasu. Now if you have an answer that's negative, as in you're answering the question with iie, which means no, then you have to use a negative ending to your sentence, negative verb ending. So for verbs specifically, their negative verbs are going to end in masen. So if this was no, we do not have ukuleles, or iie, ukulele ga arimasen, you would, so you'd end it in arimasen. So be careful to note that when you're answering with hai or ie. And then don't forget to put in your English translation. Yes, we do have ukuleles. Okay, I hope that was helpful. The main thing here is to keep in mind if you're using arimasu or arimasen, or imasu or imasen. These ones are all arimasu though. We get into using imasu a little bit later on. Okay, so now let's move on to part 2. Pretend someone is asking you whether or not you have something. Highlight or circle the appropriate Japanese words according to the information provided. Then highlight or circle and fill in the blank below with the English translation. So let's move on to our example. It says, Inu ga imasu ka? And you should answer, in the example here, we answer with ie. So this is just a practice in knowing whether to use arimasu or imasu. So remember, arimasu is for inanimate objects, non-living things. Imasu is for animate objects or living things. So we have to decide whether we're going to use arimasu or imasu, and then are we going to use the positive form with the mas ending, or are we going to use the negative form with the masen ending? Okay, so inu ga imasu ka? Ie. So our answer should be no, there is not a dog. So inu is dog. Anyway, so our answer goes ie, inu ga. Now it says inu ga imasu ka? They use imasu, so right away we know to use that form, imasu, rather than arimasu. However, our answer is ie. So which of these verbs, imasu or imasen, is the negative form? Ie, inu ga imasen. So this one's a little weird, sorry, it kind of cut off there. But you're going to choose imasen. And then put in your English translation. No, there is not a dog. Okay, again, just the main thing is deciphering between arimasu and imasu. And then positive form, mas. Negative form, masen. All right, that was helpful. The last part is our audio section. So I hope that over the semester you've been becoming more comfortable with listening to and answering questions that are in Japanese. So the point is to get your ear kind of warmed up to the language. So in this audio day, I ask, Ura niwa ni niwa ga arimasu ka? I'll say that again. Listen carefully. Ura niwa ni niwa ga arimasu ka? So all the words to that audio are in the rest of the audios are in the Benina Tango section. Now, just to practice, I said ura niwa ni niwa ga arimasu ka? Now, let's break this down. Ura niwa means backyard. Niwa means garden. You may notice that niwa is an ura niwa. So maybe that can help you to associate the two, backyard and garden. And then we have the verb arimasu. That means, again, to exist for something that's not living necessarily. I know gardens have living things in it, but we would just use arimasu in this case. Now let's pay attention to our particles. Ni is our location particle. So we use this when we're talking about where something exists. So the niwa, the garden, exists in the ura niwa, the backyard. So we use particle ni to tell us that ura niwa is the location of the niwa. Then we have ga. This is again our subject particle. So we use this whenever we're asking if something exists or if there's something there. And then ka is our question mark. So as you can see in our answer, we do not have a ka at the end. We're going to omit that ka for our statement. Okay, now let's fill in the blanks. So you can just answer this according to, you know, if you have a garden in your backyard or not. So this is all like personal answers. So I have a garden in my backyard, or in my yard. I don't really have a backyard, but anyway, so if I say yes, I'm going to answer with height. And then we basically just, again, copy the question and omit or take away the ka. So I can just copy this, ura niwa ni, niwa ga. And then since I answered with height and the garden is a technically inanimate thing, I'm going to say arimasu. And now I'll just put it in my English translation. Yes, there is a garden in my backyard. All right. And that goes over everything. Now, if you have any further questions, please reach out. I'm always happy to help you. And 頑張ってください。